Greetings and welcome again to the new video blog. I have a few announcements and some prizes to give away, but I'm going to save that for the end. Right now I'd like to just jump right into today's content. I imagine that stress is a big part of everybody's life. It seems to be something we just can't shake, and it always seems to be a problem. I know right now we're in the aftermath of Christmas. My last week has been a little more relaxing than usual, but it's still fresh on our minds, that hectic, fast-paced December leading up to Christmas, which usually is one of the most stressful times of the year for all of us. During the Christmas break, Susie and I have been trying to get some things done around the house. One of my projects was dismantling the toddler bed. If you've bought beds for kids in the last few years, you know now they have these conversion systems where the crib can be changed around to be the toddler bed, and then the toddler bed changed around to be a full-size big kid bed. So one of the things I still need to do is attach this to her big girl bed that she just got. This is now the headboard, whereas it used to be part of the crib. Doing this made me think about those early days just a few years back when Addie was still a baby. Now, if you've had a baby of your own or taken care of someone else's baby, you know that they can't talk right away. They communicate through crying, and when they cry, you have a series of questions that you always go through to try and figure out what the problem is. Are they hungry? Do they need to go to sleep? Do they need to use the bathroom, or did they just use the bathroom? These are things that we ask ourselves when we're dealing with a baby's tears, because it's hard to see what the problem is, but it's often one of those that I just said. Now, when it comes to stress in our lives, I read a book once. I tried to find the reference, but I couldn't. But it was about stress management. It was about how we deal with our own stress. And they suggested that we address our problems with the same questions right off the bat. Are we hungry? Are we thirsty? Do we need to go to the bathroom? Do we need more sleep? It's the baby questions, but really, if you think about it, we're all just big babies. And I don't mean that negatively. I only mean that in the sense that we have grown up, but we started out as babies. So we have grown-up versions of the baby questions that we can ask ourselves. Are we thirsty? Are we hungry? Are we eating the right foods would be a good follow-up. Are we drinking enough water? Are we going to the bathroom enough? Actually, in my day, you'd be surprised how often I find myself so tense, and I realize it's because I have a full bladder. I don't stop long enough to realize that. So, are we getting enough sleep? Do we find that nap time would be a really great thing for us, or even just going to sleep when we should at the end of the day? That's a big problem for me, because I find those last hours in the day after the sun goes down, the kids in the bed, it's a lot more peace and quiet, and I like to enjoy that time for myself, and I have a hard time saying, okay, it's time to go to bed. There are so many times when the stress makes us impatient, grumpy, tense, short with each other. Let's ask ourselves the baby questions first. Maybe it is so simple that we just haven't eaten lately, or that we haven't slept enough, or that we need more water or bathroom time or whatever. These are issues that can help us deal with stress, but it also helps us to deal better with the other people in our lives. If we're working with young people in a group setting, if we have kids in our own household, these are things that before we even get to those spiritual issues or things like that, understanding adolescence, understanding our role as leaders in their lives, let's take care of ourselves first. Let's see what we can do to manage our own stress more effectively. And really, this is about health and well-being. Welcome to the new year. It's 2012. With New Year's come resolutions, and so often those resolutions have to do with our physical health, with our own well-being. If you're a part of a gymnasium or a health club or anything like that, you know that involvement seems to really get going in those first few weeks of January, you see many more people in there than you usually do. Memberships increase. People make those resolutions to deal with their bodies, with the need for more exercise, things like this. This is something that can be legitimate. It's something I always deal with in the new year. My physical well-being seems to take a back seat so often. I don't eat the right foods very often. I don't exercise like I need to. If you've ever been in my house, you know that this elliptical machine is pointing directly at a television. It's the only way I can seem to get motivated to exercise, and it is right there in front of me so I can watch a movie, watch a DVD, a TV show, something like that. This, I know, is the way that I can motivate myself to exercise, and even then it still doesn't get done very often. I want you to think in this new year about your own health, your peace of mind, your well-being. Make resolutions for yourself if that's what you need. I am certainly in no way an expert in this area. Physical health is not my expertise. But if you find that you are able to eat the right things, work out when you need to, keep your body in good shape, you will find that your energy level increases, you'll feel better about yourself, and you'll be more patient with the other people in your life. Physical health is a spiritual matter. The Bible calls our bodies God's dwelling place. 1 Corinthians 6:19 says, "Do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own, you were bought at a price. Therefore honor God with your body." If you think about physical, literal temples, the places we worship, would we let our church get run down? Would we let it get filthy or not make repairs when needed? Of course not. We care greatly about the physical plant, the places where we gather, especially the sanctuary where we seem to worship and feel the presence of God most often. In the same way, God does dwell within us. We have a responsibility to keep our temple in the best shape that we can. So, I encourage you to seek physical well-being, as together in this blog we will also pursue spiritual well-being as well. I'm confident that we are all dealing with mounds of stress in our lives. We're busy, our kids have busy schedules, but we need to take care of ourselves as a way of managing that stress, and also as a way of modeling good behavior for the other people in our lives. They will see what we do. They pay attention. Let's show them a renewed commitment for caring for our bodies. So now it's your turn. Does any of this resonate with you? Do you have stories of your own? Success stories, ways you've worked these things out in your own lives, or just questions, follow-up statements that you thought as I was saying any of this? Take a few moments to tell your stories. Does everything else in your life seem to take precedence over physical well-being? Leave a comment. As I said before, there will be giveaways today. The first 5 commenters will receive one of 2 books. For parents, I have a book called 99 Thoughts for Parents by Walt Mueller. It's a resource I'll be using often on this video blog, and it would be great to have your own copy. If you are just one of our volunteers or our teachers in the youth group or Sunday school settings, I also have a book that would be great for you called Make Their Day, 101 Simple to Supreme Affirmations for Teens, ways that you can encourage them positively in very creative ways. So, if you need to know how to leave a comment or a reply, as it says on the video page, you can either click on the title of this blog post. You can click this little word bubble in the corner of it that shows you a number that says how many posts have already been, how many replies have already been made to this post. Or you can click the words underneath the video screen that says, 2 replies or whatever. That will bring up the screen that lets you leave a reply as well. One of the best ways to find out about new posts here is to follow the blog. You can also do that. On my computer screen, it's in the bottom right hand corner. It just says follow this blog or something like that. All it takes for either of these things is to provide an email address, then you'll receive notifications of when new videos are up. I'm trying to get the word out. Spread the word. Tell other youth parents, other people in the church if you think they would be interested in this. I also talked about announcements. In the typed comments under the video screen on this blog post, I will list the dates for the ski trips that are coming up, the junior high trip, the senior high trip, and also a trivia night that's coming up at the end of January. So I'll leave all those to the typed comments on the blog itself. If you have any questions about this or anything else, please contact me. You can call me, you can find me on Facebook, or you can reply to this blog. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to practice what I preach. Thank you for listening. See you next time.